Tonga cut off from world at volcano. Death toll unknown with internet wiped out. A tsunami triggered by a massive underwater volcanic eruption near Tonga has cut the island off from the rest of the world. The death toll from the seismic event remains unknown. Tonga's underwater volcano triggers a 7.4 magnitude earthquake. The quake sent tsunami waves crashing against the coast of the Pacific island, which was left covered in ash and cut off from aid. Waves from the tsunami have hit California as evacuation warnings were issued in Australia, Japan, and the United States. Locals raced for higher ground as waves of nearly 3 feet, 90 centimeters, filled Tonga's streets after the Hunga Tonga Hunga Ha'apai volcano erupted on Saturday. The Pacific island remained largely unreachable on Sunday. Relatives in New Zealand have been left to pray for their families as reports of casualties have yet to come. Internet and phone lines were cut at around 6:40 p.m. local time on Saturday. Since then, the island's 107,000 inhabitants have been virtually unreachable. New Zealand Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern told a news conference on Sunday that there had been no official reports of injuries or deaths in Tonga and contact had not been established with coastal areas outside the capital Nuku'alofa. Ms. Ardern said, "Nuku'alofa was covered in thick plumes of volcanic ash but otherwise calm and stable condition." Radio New Zealand reported Michael Ashiola, secretary of the Wesleyan Tonga Church in Auckland, as saying, "We pray that God will help our country at this sad time. We hope everyone is safe." The eruption triggered tsunami warnings across the Pacific, with U.S. authorities urging people on Pacific coastlines to stay away from beaches. Beach closed in New South Wales, Australia. Reuters reported that hundreds of thousands of Japanese citizens were advised to evacuate as waves of more than 1 meter hit the coast. In a briefing, an official from the Japan Meteorological Agency urged people not to go near the sea until the tsunami warning and more serious tsunami warnings have been lifted. Waves as high as 10 feet, 3 m, are expected in the Amami Islands in southern Japan. NHK reported that about 230,000 people were advised to evacuate from 8 prefectures due to the tsunami risk. The warning covers areas hit by the deadly 2011 tsunami in Japan. Ten ships capsized in Kochi Prefecture in Shikoku in southern Japan, and Japan Airlines canceled 27 flights at airports across the country. In California, cities including Santa Monica and Santa Cruz were flooded by the tsunami, with beaches closed to the public. Dave Snyder, Tsunami Warning Coordinator at the National Tsunami Warning Center in Palmer, Alaska, told CNN, "We've seen waves moving through the island of Hawaii. We don't have a really good forecast because this event is based on volcanoes rather than earthquakes." Officials said the eruption was so powerful it sounded like loud thunder in Fiji, which is more than 500 miles away from the volcano. Shocking satellite images show a massive eruption lasting at least 8 minutes, sending giant plumes of gas, ash, and smoke miles into the air. The Tonga Meteorological Agency said a tsunami warning had been put in place for the whole of Tonga on Saturday. Hundreds of people were moved to evacuation centers in Suva, and Fiji Airways had to cancel all flights due to the ash cloud. Experts say falling ash can contaminate drinking water and cause breathing problems, with the help needed to restore drinking water supplies. Shane Cronin, professor at the School of Environment, University of Auckland, warned that Tonga should remain vigilant for further eruptions and avoid low-lying areas. He explained that research shows the volcano saw minor eruptions in 2009 and 2014-15, with radiocarbon dating showing there were 2 major eruptions in 1100 and another in 200. Roger Musson. Seismologists at the UK Geological Survey told Sky News, "There was a similar volcanic eruption about a year ago, but this one is 7 times bigger, which is really rather big." Tonga is located in what is known as the chromatic subduction zone. This is a very seismically active area, and where you have subduction, where one crustal plate dips under another, you also get volcanoes. This underwater volcano has been active for several years now, but this is the largest eruption it has produced.